Jai Hind children. We have already done the first module and we have covered the chapter of confronting marginalization. So this is the second module, and we have discussed about village of Jakmalgur and the family of Ratnam, where that Ratnam refused to uh, do a practice which was being done by his family since many years, and because he was a student of an engineering college and a man of today's time, he refused to listen to the society as a whole, and the result was that his house was burnt, and he somehow escaped from the house along with his mother, and then he had filed a case under a law which is or act called as Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Act 1989, and he became a symbol of Dalit action. Now the topic we will be dealing today is what is this act. Now this we know that India has laws which guard against discrimination and exploitation of the marginalized communities, and this act, Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes 1989, was framed in the year 1989 in response to the demands made by the Dalits and the others that the government must take seriously the ill treatment which has these people have been facing since years. This treatment was happening since a very long time, and it took a violent turn in the 70s and the 80s. In South India, a number of assertive Dalits, they came forward and they refused to perform their so-called duties, and they wanted to be treated equally. Now this resulted in the more powerful caste unleashing violence against them, and the Dalits had to say that untouchability was still practiced, and they wanted new laws which would list the number of or the sorts of violence against the Dalits and give strict punishments to those who did. The Adivasis also, they organized themselves and they demanded equal rights and the resources which was taken by the government to be returned back to them, as we know that they were living in the forest and they were forced out from their houses, and they had to move to the towns in search of smaller work to earn a livelihood. They had to face the anger of the powerful social groups and they were subject to violence. This is why this act contains a very long list of crimes. Some are very horrible, and this act also tells what dreadful crimes a human is capable of doing. In this sense, laws such as these, they seek to punish both as well as the influence the way we think and act. This act distinguishes several levels of crime. Now let us see what are the levels. First, it lists the modes of humiliation that are both physically horrible and morally also bad, and they seek to punish those who do. Like if you force a member of a SC and ST to drink or eat something which is bad, or you forcibly remove the clothes of a person who belongs to that caste, or parade him naked with a painted face and body, which is derogatory to a human dignity, then you are also or take out the resources which these people have, and you are people force them to do forced labor. Then if some things which are done to the women, like you ask them to do something which is derogatory or which is socially not acceptable. So the 1989 Act is also important as Adivasis refer it to defend their rights and occupy the lands that was traditionally theirs. Adivasis asked that those who have forcibly taken their lands, they should be punished by law, and the land which was belonging to the tribal people, which cannot be bought or sold by any non-tribal person, and whatever has happened, the constitution should guarantee that the right of the tribal people, they should be given the right to repossess their land. So this is a lady, C.K. Janu, who is an Adivasi activist, and she has pointed at that one of the violators of the constitutional rights guaranteed to tribal people are the governments of the various states of India. Now how is this done? As the government, they allow non-tribal encroachers in the form of timber merchants or paper mills, etc., to exploit the tribal land and to forcibly remove the tribal people from their forests in the process, and they declare the forest as the sanctuaries. So it means that you're forcing the people out of their forest or out of their places wherever they lived, and you declare that place as a sanctuary. She also noted that wherever tribals have been removed or evicted and they cannot go back to their lands, they should be given a compensation. So this was the thought of C.K. Janu, who is an Adivasi activist. Thus, this act set out to punish anyone who wrongfully occupies or cultivates any land owned by a member of an SC or an ST. This act also recognizes that crimes against Dalit women or tribal women are of a specific kind, and therefore it seeks to punish anyone who assaults or uses any force on any kind on any woman belonging to the SC and the ST with an intention to dishonor her.